Hey guys, what's up? LeoHightower here, back up on YouTube again with another video vlog for you guys. Excuse me, I'm kind of saying this without it being scripted and everything. It's a new video vlog, and today is June the 28th, 2017. This is Leo's High View, and it's time for some video updates and whatnot. First of all, I appreciate everyone who's been watching the channel lately and checking out some of my videos. Thank you guys very much for that. I'm actually at 712 subscribers, so thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for that. I haven't been able to finish up with the Sonic Shuffle review, which I am currently working on. I was kind of hoping to get it out sometime before Sonic's birthday on June the 25th, but it's past that, so yeah. And I wasn't able to get Sonic GX dubbed out in time either, because we still need some voice actors to do their lines and everything. I recently got the Knuckles voice actor to do his lines, and I've already got the Sonic lines set up. I just need for the Eggman voice actor and Sally voice actor to do their lines, and then after that I can kind of put things together, but that's still going to take some time, unfortunately. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, so you guys are going to have to wait a little bit longer for Sonic GX dubbed Episode 4. Part 1. As I think I mentioned in a previous video vlog, I'm turning episode 4 into a two-parter because of the size limit that Hurricane had run into originally on the original Flash animation. So I'm going to turn it into a two-part episode basically, and I hope you guys will like that. It's going to be a traditional to be continued at the end episode, so yeah. Stay tuned for Sonic GX dubbed in the episode 4 dubbed in the future, you guys. Episode 4 part 1 will be coming soon. It's just gonna take some time. And more video wise, I am working on another video project, but that probably won't take off until probably in August maybe, because I'm still working on the Sonic Shuffle review right now, and that's going to take a while to actually put together. I need gameplay footage in order to do the video. If I look pretty messy right now, I apologize. I just got out of the shower. My hair needs to be combed right now. But I thought I'd make this video vlog for you guys because you're probably wondering, where's Leo at? Where are the latest videos? Well, here I am, basically. I am working on new videos, but it's still a ways off. I have update information for you guys. It's computer-wise. I recently got a new Dell Windows 7 Inspiron tower recently to help with my other tower, which has been crashing a lot lately. The reason why most videos or updates haven't been getting out lately is because the computer is crashing a few times. It goes to a blue screen and restarts all of a sudden, and that can cause problems overall. And the disk tray doesn't really open up anymore. You have to keep pushing the disk tray button to open it up, and that can be a hassle, especially when you're my brother trying to make CDs and music. So yeah. But thankfully this new tower shouldn't have any new problems or anything like that. I got it on right now and I'm trying to update it while also putting up some new stuff onto the tower and everything from the old computer to the new one. Let's just hope Windows 10 doesn't give me a headache to operate through. Here's hoping. Let's see, what else do I have? I was originally going to do a video for the 26th anniversary of Sonic, but due to my niece and nephews coming over and everything, I wasn't able to actually start recording, but I can do it pretty much right now. Mostly what I did on the 26th anniversary was I played some of my Sonic games, and I watched a few of the DVDs I had. I even watched Sonic Paradox by The Wax and everybody else who worked on the animations, and I'm hoping sometime soon to see Sega shorts by them. I hope they put it out soon. I've been waiting ever since Volume 8 of Sonic Shorts, Volume 8 I think it was. So Wax, guys, if you guys are still working on Sega shorts, please don't keep us waiting in the dark or anything. Heck, the Robotnik shorts to make up for when you guys got the channel back was awesome. Thank you guys for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, gameplay-wise, I'm actually trying to get into Steam a bit more. I still got some money on Steam, so I'm hoping to buy some new games for it sometime soon, and maybe play them on the new tower if I ever get a chance. I'm probably not going to use the App Store on Windows 10 on the new computer, because I can usually just download most of the stuff I need onto the computer, or transfer it from my old computer onto the new one, which I am doing at the moment, thanks to the backup flash drive I got. Gaming-wise, Oh my goodness, there's so much I could talk about in my Leo's High View vlog that I should have talked about during the anniversary for Sonic, but I never did do it. But I'll put that in the next part, which is coming up right now, gameplay-wise. Have you guys seen the trailers and stuff for E3 this year? Goodness gracious. Some of the stuff I've seen actually curbed my interest and some did not, but still got me hyped for a few games. I mean, that Spider-Man trailer for that new Spider-Man game that's coming out on PS4, I sense a bit of Arkham Asylum gameplay inside of it. It's basically Spider-Man meets Batman Arkham Asylum gameplay, and that, in my opinion, is pretty slick and sweet. I mean, imagine if Spider-Man was, you know, tricked out in Batman Arkham Asylum gameplay. I think that's a winner in my honest opinion. I also saw God of War's trailer and Shadow of the Colossus. I wasn't too big on the Shadow of the Colossus series, unfortunately. I've only really played Ico one time, and that was when my sister rented it one time about, years ago. So, you know, God of War, I'm a mixed bag when it comes to God of War, but I am curious to see what this one's going to be about. And Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming out sometime soon, and to those who are gonna play it, hey, kudos to you guys. I don't have PS4, my brother does, but I don't. But after playing through the originals, I definitely give the remakes on the PS4 a definite play, big time, because I like Crash Bandicoot. Heck, I got Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, and I think that's it pretty much. I never did get Crash 1, but I could download it if I wanted to. But that'd still be a ways off, because Crash Bandicoot 1 for me back then was so hard. Same for Crash Bandicoot 2, just trying to find all the gems and everything. Same for Part 3, I was only able to beat it out of luck. But anyway, Microsoft-wise, they unveiled their new Project Scorpio, which is Xbox One X, and I'm like, it's pretty impressive. I mean, it'd probably be about as powerful as my computer that I got right now. But I've been hearing some rumors on Review Tech USA that some of the implied updates for the system, making it stronger and more better than the original Xbox One, might not be what we're expecting. So there's that, and yeah. Nintendo though. They showed off some pretty impressive trailers, especially some of the later trailers I looked at. Let me talk about it right now. Sonic Mania looks gorgeous, especially because we can play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles for that matter. And we're getting remakes of some original zones, especially considering how in Green Hill, I think Act 2 or Act 3, the Death Egg robot is chasing after Sonic, and I'm like, oh god, Death Egg robot already? And in one zone I saw Stardust Highway, Stardust Speedway. We're getting a remake of that, so I guess we're getting a past version and an updated version of the original? Maybe. But then there was Sonic Forces. We not only play as classic Sonic, we play as modern Sonic, and for the first time ever, your own custom avatar. So I'm like, ooh, kids are gonna have a school day with this, but Sega, you opened up the floodgates, basically. You opened up the floodgates for people of DeviantArt to put together their own stolen, crappy, original fan character into the game. But we're limited by the species. There's no fox, no squirrel, no chipmunk, or anything like that to make the characters, basically. I would have expected an echidna of all things too, but oh well. If I ever get the game, I could probably make my Sonic the Hedgehog go see Leon Henderson Hedgehog on it, or one of my other characters I came up with. But this new enemy character, Infinite. Who is Infinite? Holy crap. Boy. I don't even know what to say. I just saw Infinite and I'm like, who is Infinite? Especially when the infinity symbol popped up on the screen, basically. I'm like, who is Infinite? I'm repeating myself right now. But Sonic Forces has definitely got me pulled in. And I'm like, I cannot wait to see how far Sonic Forces goes. Nintendo unveiled Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I'm like, And I'm actually getting into Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X at the moment. and I'm having pretty good fun with it. I like Xenoblade Chronicles so far, especially Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm hoping that Part 2 will be pretty good as well. I also saw them unveil Fire Emblem Warriors, and considering how vast the Fire Emblem universe is, especially with their characters, I think this was a pretty unique step, especially with how they did Hyrule Warriors. So I'm hoping that Hyrule Warriors would do good on the Switch. Also, to answer the question again, will I consider getting a Switch? No. I'm not shelling out any more money for another system anytime soon. So there's no on that. But two of the things, OMG, that they unveiled, even though it showed in production, was we're getting a new Metroid Prime, ladies and gentlemen. A Metroid Prime 4. It's still in development on the Switch, but I'm like, oh my god. And another game they unveiled? Jesus. They did it. It took them a while, but they finally did it. They unveiled a remake of Metroid 2. Return of Samus. Or as it's called, Samus's Return. And now I can understand why they did that DMI takedown of another Metroid 2 remake, which I'm still playing at the moment. And I've gotten far in that game. So, Nintendo, props to you guys. I'm no longer upset about that whole takedown of another Metroid 2 remake. Thank you for that. What else did they unveil? They unveiled a new Kirby game, but it's still in development, and it looks like it's going to return to the Helper system from Kirby Superstar. So I'm curious to see how that acts out. They unveiled Super Mario Odyssey, of course, and I'm curious as to how the game is going to play out with the whole entire throw your hat trick, basically, with Mario and the new Cappy. This time around, Princess Peach has been kidnapped by Bowser again, but this time around, he's going to be using these 3 other characters to force Princess Peach to marry him. Okay, that's a step up for Bowser. I mean, I can understand Super Paper Mario at the beginning where they were kind of forced to marry because of Count Black. But yeah. So Super Mario Odyssey has got me curious with its gameplay, because now you can actually switch from 2D to 3D on the fly when you go inside the warp portals, the warp pipes, and it switches from 3D Mario to a 2D classic style Mario running across the walls and everything. I think they took inspiration from A Link Between Worlds, Zelda? But wow. I'm curious to see how it'll play out. But that's mostly what I remember from E3 of this year, and Nintendo definitely got me pumped up. We're also getting a DLC pack for Breath of the Wild. I really do need to get back to Breath of the Wild. Maybe I'll get back to it tomorrow. But we're getting a DLC pack for Breath of the Wild, and I'm holding my PSP cord here. What am I doing? We're getting a DLC pack for Breath of the Wild. So yeah, there should be a few new add-ons for Breath of the Wild coming out sometime soon. And the sun is apparently hiding behind a bunch of clouds right now. Anyway, I'm excited to see what this DLC pack is going to be like for Breath of the Wild, basically. Because I enjoyed the first DLC pack by getting a few extras in it, but that's still a ways off. The only thing I don't like about Breath of the Wild is the weapon durability. I'm fighting, and the next thing I know, I break one of my weapons. I think it's like Hurricane 360 said, the weapon durability thing is crap. But that's still a ways off, and I'm still getting farther and further into the game. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for gameplay-wise and other things. I'm just looking forward to seeing how all these games for these systems come out, basically. I still need to get back to my PS3 and play through some of the games and unlock everything all over again. Because I had to restart on Sonic and Sega's All-Star Racing, restart on Sonic Unleashed, as well as a few other games, so yeah. But that's pretty much it game-wise. Next, I'm going to move on to a segment I should have done during the 25th anniversary of Sonic, and that is answer these questions I got. And I got my pad right here to answer them. So let's get to the Q&A segment right now. But anyway, before I get to the question and answer segment, what trailers surprised or impressed you guys this year at E3? Leave them in the comment section below, and I'll kindly answer those questions for you. But enough about that. Let's get to the Q&A section. These questions were sent in from me from DeviantArt users and people on Google Plus or YouTube. They sent in a few questions, and I'm going to read them out for you. But hey, I might actually do something like this in the future, like the Quarter Guy does, the Fourth Wall Mailbag. So if you guys ever got any questions or stuff you want to ask me, please feel free to send them to me. You can leave them in the comment section below, or put them in my discussion posts, basically, like on DeviantArt or Google+, and I'll gladly get to them. But for now, let's just get started. The first question comes from Mike and Snoop 2, and he asks, what is your favorite Sonic comic, what is your favorite Archie comic Sonic characters? That's tough to say since I haven't read the comics in quite a while, actually, but some of my favorite characters would have to include Mina Mongoose, let's see who else, Zone Cop Sonic, Scourge the Hedgehog, Fiona the Fox, and Bean the Dynamite for that matter, as well as the various iterations of characters such as Eggman, of course, and Snively, Breezy, who was on Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see who else. The Knuckles, Chaotix Crew, Julie Sue. There's a few I couldn't name up, but those are the characters that I remember the most from the comic books I read back then. So sorry, Mike and Snoop 2. These are the characters I do remember. I do remember Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, mostly because I remember them from the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog arcade game and from the comics on occasion. God, I miss those characters. Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Sniper as you call him, and Bark the Polar Bear. God, I haven't read a Sonic comic in a long time, so you'll have to forgive me. Luigi and Amy fan, Katie, writes, what if Sonic and Company saw my fanfic? Do you think they would like it? Well, considering how this is a fanfic of Luigi's Mansion, and you include Luigi and Amy fighting against King Boo to defeat I can't speak right now. So considering how this is a fanfic of Luigi's Mansion and you have Luigi and Amy working together to save Mario and Sonic from King Boo, they might like it maybe. They might point out some of the flaws and whatnot, but I think they definitely like it. But that's just me saying, babe. That's just me saying. I can't speak for Sonic and crew. Alright, next question comes from Alex Raccoon Glider, and he's got at least a few questions, so I'm going to read these off. He writes, what about if Sega made solo story games centering on one character, like how Tails had Tails' Adventure that technically showcases his life before meeting Sonic? I was wondering if Sega would ever do a game centering on Knuckles, as he has a ton of backstory that's only been peeked at in the games. Well, I think it would be interesting to see how that plays out. Having a Sonic the Hedgehog game focus on one specific character, like how they did with Tails' Adventure and whatnot, I think that would be interesting, exactly, but I'm not really sure exactly. We already had one game do that, and that game was a complete flop, Shadow the Hedgehog. But considering how if Knuckles could have a game, and it would show off some of the backstory for his game, that would be pretty epic in my honest opinion. So yeah. I'd actually like to see them do various games based on some of the other characters and not be a complete other clusterfuck that was like Shadow the Hedgehog, which in my opinion is still considered a train wreck, and yet it's a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. I don't know. After I beat the game for the upteenth time, I pretty much had enough of the game and said, fuck it, sell it. Excuse my language. Next question from Alex Raccoon Glider says, is it true that Sonic fears his own fandom than Dr. Robotnik? No, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think so. Maybe, maybe not. I can't speak, unfortunately. I mean, I think it's like this one Flash animation or something I saw on, while browsing through it one time. I think it was Amy doing the interview. It was like, it was so fine and fun back then when we had such fans, but ever since Rule 34 came along, oh god. There are some good fans out there are some bad fans, and there are fans who are just delusional and think that they're holier than thou, and I'm like, get a life, you guys. I am not one of those people. I will love Sonic until the very end and everything, but because I grew up on him and he was my first friend basically. But yeah. There are some fans who are just delusional who think that this shipping should be canon or this shipping should be canon and your opinion is wrong and everything, and I hate people like that. I've encountered 2 people like that who say that they would eat Sonic's excrement. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with you? I just don't know anymore. But if Sonic was real and he could see how some of his good fans were, like me and a few others, maybe even you, then yeah. I think he'd be pretty proud of us and happy to actually hang out with us. But some of the other fans, I think he'd run away. Far, far away. The final question from Alex Raccoon Glider says, what if some of the pre-Genesis Wave characters from Archie made it into the games, like Lupe from Santa M and other Freedom Fighters? Well, believe it or not, some of the characters from the Freedom Fighting Sonic Santa M comic book and cartoon actually made it into a Sonic game, and that was Sonic Spinball, though they were only what's the word? God, I can't think of it. Cameo. They made it in a way, but I wouldn't mind seeing some of those other characters pop up in games. Heck, like an actual Sonic Santa M Genesis game or something. In fact, I think one person was working on a Sonic the Hedgehog Santa M game based on the series, and there was another one called Sonic Epoch, which in my opinion had some good music, but I didn't like what I saw. Unfortunately, I didn't like it. But I wouldn't have minded seeing, actual Santa M game where some of the characters showed up, like Sally, Rotor, Antoine, Bunny, Uncle Chuck for that matter, or any of the other characters like Lupe for that matter. I think it would have been cool and interesting, especially if Snively would show up and he was actually working alongside Dr. Eggman. I think it's kind of like how Sonic GX would play out in a way. Imagine if a game was based on that, where it brought together the three worlds of Sonic. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Santa M, and Sonic X. Although Sonic Underground wouldn't be included because not many people like that. But to me, it's a guilty pleasure. I don't really carry the way about it. Thanks for the questions, Alex Raccoon Glider. Next up is a question from J Foxfire, and J Foxfire asks, how would you feel about a Sonic Santa M game if it was made in full 3D like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Unleashed? Would you play it? I answered this question a while ago, Alex Raccoon Glider, but thanks for the question, Jay. I would actually like to see how Sonic, Sally, Tails, Rotor, Antoine, Bunny, and Uncle Chuck and some of the others would look in 3D in an actual Sonic Santa M game. Not just on cartoon or in the comics, but an actual game. I wonder if it would play out like Sonic GX, only without the Sonic X portion of it. I would love to actually see that. I mean, you could take control of certain freedom fighters on certain points and have them do specific tasks, fight against the SWAT bots, use the Sonic's rings to power up and move faster and everything, and how the voice... I wonder what the voice cast would be like, basically, for the game. It would be interesting that much. I would play it. I would play it as long as they give it that type of formula like Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Colors for that matter, because I loved playing Sonic Colors because that was a good game in my opinion, or Sonic Unleash. I would also like to see some of the other freedom fighters from the cartoon and comic books show up. More than anything, I definitely play it. So yeah. Nikki Gamer sent me a question and she asks, what is your favorite Sonic cartoon? Just wondering. At the moment right now, I am enjoying Sonic Boom to a great degree, just like any other fan out there. My first cartoon for Sonic was of course the first one, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which was based on Sonic 1 and 2, basically, with Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts, who are part of the SSSS squad, following the orders of Dr. Robotnik. That was my favorite cartoon, but then the Holy Grail came when Sonic Sat AM came, and I watched it every morning on ABC, up until the last episode. I was hooked. I actually have it on DVD. 1 second, actually. It all started pretty much with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog for me, and I enjoyed watching it whenever I got in from elementary school, basically, sitting down in front of the TV on Fox 31, which we had back then, and watching it. I loved the crud out of it because it was an actual Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I loved the ever-loving hell out of it. But then the Holy Grail came with Sonic the Hedgehog Sat AM, featuring the voice of Jaleel White as Sonic. And it wasn't always a complete lonely time for me watching the cartoon, basically, because at that time I would usually have my trusty Sonic the Hedgehog plushie with me watching the cartoon. He's been with me since I was practically a little kid, my first actual friend. That's why I like Sonic the Hedgehog so much. I love this character. I really do need to get a modern Sonic plushie sometime to cope with this guy. Or Amy back there. Hi, Amy! But yeah. Then, of course, came Sonic Underground, and I actually started watching Sonic Underground during my middle school phase, and to me it was a bit of a mixed bag. I actually found Sonia and Manic to be interesting characters, especially considering how Sonic was a prince in that dimension, so I'm like, okay. And they had a guitar, drum set, and a keyboard, which could fire lasers and do all sorts of stuff, and they fought against Dr. Robotnik and his two minions, Sleet and Dingo. Knuckles was even in the series, and I'm like, okay, well this is interesting. Back then I was a pretty dumb, hard-headed kid and I didn't understand much of anything, but I found a love for Sonic Underground. But looking at it now, it's still a mixed bag. I have a love-hate relationship with it, mostly because of the music. The music is too cheesy in my honest opinion now. I can't tolerate the music that much anymore, but I do love Sonia and I do love Manic. Thanks for the question, Nikki. Anyway, the next question comes from my pal Zekanuva, and he asks, should we get another Sonic RPG? If so, should BioWare finally make that Chronicles sequel they teased at the end of the Dark Brotherhood, or should Sega start from scratch? To be honest, I think it'd be better if we got a better Sonic RPG other than Sonic Chronicles, because I actually played Sonic Chronicles even though it was through the power of an emulator, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. Just having to use the touch controls to do all this, and some of the characters' story modes, some of the characters' lines and stuff like that, not to mention the music and how the battle system worked. That was not the way how to do a Sonic RPG. There could have been a better way how to do it. If they were planning on doing a sequel, which I doubt they'd be doing, they'd need to do better. I mean, do something like with Super Mario RPG, or Final Fantasy for that matter. They could have done a whole lot better, in my opinion, with that Sonic Chronicles of the Dark Brotherhood RPG, and that's saying a lot. And I have been a Sonic fan since the very beginning, thank you very much. But if they would just start from scratch, do this. Give the characters a bit more depth, make the battle system more tolerable, not do it like a touchscreen DS game or anything like that, and give us a good storyline that won't end in a to be continued, and not give us a sequel after that, because I called bullshit on that when I found out what the ending was, and we never got a proper sequel, so fuck that. Screw Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood. It did go into a bit more depth like a comic book, but it could have done so much more. But that's my honest opinion. Next up is a question from Japan Anime Girl. I have a rather interesting question, and I hope you will think deeply about it. Since the Sonic games have been getting bad reviews lately, what would you do to make the perfect Sonic game? This is a good question right here. I would update the 3D graphics to look something like Sonic Colors, or for that matter how Sonic Forces is looking. Give the gameplay the same treatment as Sonic Colors, and well, pretty much just do it like Sonic Colors or Sonic Generations in a way, basically. Have a good in-depth story, have good voice cast, even though the voice cast is good as they are right now, and just give it a good feeling to it with plenty of unlockables or extras, basically. Good stages, good music, good story and plot, and of course, give it a good ending with great music. That is what I would do. The main problem is the plot. You need to focus on the plot besides just the gameplay, because unless it has a good storyline, the gameplay won't probably matter too much, even though it's like the gameplay is good but the story is trash. I don't like that. I don't like games like that. I enjoyed Sonic Colors. Coming back to Sonic Colors again, I enjoyed Sonic Colors' storyline for what it was, and in my opinion, I think it did a pretty good job. It was just Sonic and Tails out to stop Dr. Robotnik, Eggman, and they were trying to free these little alien critters. Sonic Generations was good, but could have been a bit longer. I just hated how short it was, and it could have gone into more depth. Like, take for example, the Todd Star on DA. He wrote a much longer and more in-depth analysis story for Sonic Generations, and I recommend reading that if you want a better experience with the Sonic Generations storyline. But basically, give the game a good plot, give it good graphics, good controls, give it a good storyline, and a good mixed bag of characters. Have the balancing figured out, basically, because without balance, the game would fall apart. I think someone talked about this one time on YouTube, and if I ever get a chance, I'll post the link in the description below, basically. But thanks for the question, Japan Anime Girl. The next question comes from JamFrog35, and Jam30Frog writes, what is your hope for Sonic's 25th anniversary game? Well, since we're already past the 25th anniversary, I think we should focus on the 26th. We've already got Sonic Mania coming out, and we've got Sonic Forces, and I already talked about those games already, so here's hoping that those two games will do good. I'm hoping Sonic Mania will be great because it's made by an actual fan creator who worked on a fan-made Sonic game, and I played a few Sonic ROM hacks, and those are actually pretty good. Sonic Mega Mix is an impressive fan-made ROM hack. Other Sonic projects I played, like, let's see, Sonic the Hedgehog XG or Next Genesis. But yeah, that's all I can pretty much say, basically. I'm just hoping this anniversary plays out well for Sonic, like it could have done in the 25th anniversary. But yeah, thanks for the question. Another question Jam30Frog35 sent in. Other than the Sonic game series, what other video games do you like? When it comes to me and video games, I'm a mixed bag. I like action and adventure games, RPG games like Final Fantasy and whatnot, a few puzzle games like Tetris that'll curb my enthusiasm, racing games like Ridge Racer, maybe Gran Turismo, or Split Second for that matter. Fighting games, gotta have fighting games. Street Fighter, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear X, Mortal Kombat for that matter, Ready to Rumble Boxing. I love all types of games, basically. But overall main series games, Mario, Final Fantasy, Jak and Daxter, and, well, Metal Gear Solid, and there was one more. It was the Metal Gear series, even though I already said it, but that's pretty much it. Those are my favorite games that I like. Next question comes from Lizzie Septic Guy, who writes, what was your favorite thing about Sonic Adventure 2? I think it would probably have to be the Sonic and Shadow stages mostly, and of course the Tails and Eggman stages. I enjoyed playing through the Sonic and Shadow stages more than anything, giving it that high burst of speed for both the hero and dark characters, and I liked the rail shooting like it was like E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure, where you're controlling Tails and Eggman and their mechs and they're shooting at the enemies and everything. I actually found that enjoyable, but the only thing I didn't like about Sonic Adventure 2 was the difficulty swerve for later stages like Meteor Herd and Mad Space for Knuckles and Rouge. And speaking of Knuckles and Rouge, I did not like the Emerald Radar in Sonic Adventure 2. The Emerald Radar in Sonic Adventure 1 was more balanced and much easier, having to search for one Emerald Shard at a time instead of just having the Emerald Radar light up where like the second Emerald is here or the third Emerald is here. Ding 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 ding. I hated that. I hated it in the Dreamcast version, I hate it on the GameCube version. Knuckles and Rouge's Emerald collecting stages are a hassle with the Emerald Radar as it is. Overall, the reward for getting all the 120 emblems in the game probably isn't really worth it except for a 3D immersive version of Green Hill Zone, and that's it pretty much. I think once you beat the game and you've gotten all the Chow medals and everything like that, there's not much reason to try and unlock Green Hill Zone in my honest opinion. Not much reason. The final question comes from Lauresius the Wolf, and he writes, what was the greatest game ever in your opinion? To me, playing through Sonic Adventure was a blast, and when I beat it, I'm like, And listening to Open Your Heart, it left an impression on my heart. Sonic Adventure 2 was good, and when I finally beat it after going through the nightmare that was the Biolizard, I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sonic Heroes, I was a mixed bag. I'm like, well, that was alright. Shadow the Hedgehog, thank God this is over. This game is a clusterfuck. Sonic Riders, this was enjoyable. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity could have been a bit longer, but it was alright. And let's see, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 06, thank God this game is over. But my overall greatest game playing through was, in my honest opinion, Sonic Colors. I found Sonic Colors to be fun, entertaining, and a blast to play. I can play it over and over again as many times as I want, next to the likes of Sonic Adventure, whether it's the Dreamcast version or it is the GameCube version. And that's it pretty much. Thanks for the questions, you guys. I really enjoyed answering them. And I think I'm going to end the video right here and now, and I'm going to check up on the computer. I am LeoHightower, and I hope to see you guys in the next video vlog. Please stay tuned for future videos, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Until then, peace out.